Hello everyone. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I thought I'd share a story with you since Tiger is wanting to be petted. So I thought I'd take a break from what I was doing and tell you this story. I moved here in January of 2010. By summer, I knew I had a problem. Now, I had no pets when I moved here. Had not had a pet. I've been living in apartments and cities ever since I graduated from college and did not have any pets. So when I moved here, I had no pets. Well, by summertime, I wanted cats, specifically barn cats. I had a mouse problem. And I know you can have mice when you live in the city, but when you move out to the country, you're going to get mice in your house. And I kept getting mice in the master bathroom, which I was putting a lot of money into mouse traps and having to remove a lot of dead mice, which I'd rather put that money into cat food. Well, I did not know how to get a barn cat. I had a lot of assumptions back then, one of which was that shelters would only adopt cats out to... What you barking at, Prairie? I have no idea what she's barking at, what she sees out there. I almost never do. It's rare that I can figure out what she's barking at. But back to the story. I had the assumption, and it's true for many shelters, that they would only adopt cats out to homes that were indoors. That if you were going to let your cat outside, they wouldn't let you adopt a cat. Now, that is true for many shelters, but it is not true for all shelters. There are shelters out there who cater to barn cats. They will catch feral cats, spay and neuter them, and then rehome them to people who need a barn cat. But I did not know that at the time. And I really did not know how to go about finding an outdoor cat, but I wanted some cats. Well, I started attending a church, and I met a woman who got there really early and would help set up. And I started coming early and helping her set up. Something easy for me to do. I'm a morning person. I would just rather get dressed, get everything I need to get done in here, and then take off for church instead of sitting around my house for an hour. Well, a cat had showed up at her place this Christmas, December 2009, Christmas morning. And then promptly had that March had kittens. And she started complaining about all these cats. All these kittens to feed. So I knew she had more cats than she could afford to care for and didn't, I could just tell if she could find a way to rehome some of these, and that would be a blessing to her. And another issue was she had no money to get them spayed or anything. Well, I had no idea how much, that would cost me. And so one day coming back from San Antonio, I came across, now I knew this event was held once a month on a Saturday, but I'd never been to it. And I just happened to be coming home on a Saturday, and it happened to be that Saturday that the event was taking place. And so I stopped and it was called Market Days. And it's not a farmer's market. It's not a crafts fair. They had some people with crafts and stuff there, and they had some food vendors, like selling popcorn and stuff. Nobody was selling farmers, produce. But as I'm walking around, I came across, I'm not sure if it was a shelter or a vet or who they were, but there were two booths. One was definitely a shelter, a nonprofit, no-kill shelter. The other, I'm not sure. It could have been the county shelter, or it could have been something else. I don't know, but it was animals. And so I told them my problem. that I had this neighbor, elderly neighbor, with too many cats, all these kittens, and I needed some kittens. I needed some cats for my mouse problems, but I had no idea how much. I mean, I really couldn't afford to be spaying and neutering, tons and tons of cats here. And so I wanted to know how much it was going to cost me. What really was it going to cost? Well, long story short, I never got an answer that day, but a few weeks later, I got a phone call that I had been awarded a scholarship, which totally shocked me because I had been under the assumption, and this is true in some locations, especially in big cities. When I had lived in San Antonio, you had to live in Bexar County in order to qualify for low-cost animal spay and neuter services. So I assumed I would not be eligible for anything of that nature here because there is no shelters in my county. There's no vet in my county. There's nothing in my county. And so if you want to go to a shelter and adopt an animal, you've got to go to another county. And the county that Market Days event was in does have several, they have a humane society and a city shelter. And so, I mean, they had those kinds of things and vets, but where I live, there's nothing. And so I just assumed there was nothing available to me at no low cost, that I would not qualify for any kind of low cost. So when I was told, and I knew my neighbor had 3 kittens and the mama cat. The rest had been killed, but 3 had survived. And so, and I had told the lady at this booth, that number. So when I was told that I was getting a scholarship to get all 4, and it turned out all the kittens were females, so all 4 cats spayed, I was in shock. And so I just want to share that information with you, because if you're in a very remote environment like me and you're thinking you're just not going to qualify for anything, don't assume. Go to the shelters. Go to if there's a city or town near you, go and inquire. Ask them. Find out what nonprofit shelters may be near you in other counties that may not have a county restriction. This particular shelter and the particular program that paid for all these cats to be spayed had no restrictions on counties whatsoever. And it was just a special program. It turned out a specific individual donated a certain amount once a year to just pick up feral cats, get them spayed, and then return them to where they had been found. That was the program that paid for the 4 cats I had to be spayed. And so ask around. If you're in a situation where you know somebody has too many cats and can't afford to get them all spayed, and you may or may not want some of those cats, or a cat shows up on your property, whatever the situation, ask around. Don't be like me and just assume that you're not going to qualify for anything, because it turns out I did qualify. And so my neighbors, friends that had the 4 cats, 3 mama cat and the 3 kittens, and by December of 2010 these kittens were 9 months old. Well, they caught them. I put them in. I did not have any kind of crate to put these animals in, but they did. And so we put it all in the back of my. I had a SUV at the time, and we put it in the back of my vehicle. And I mean, they couldn't eat or drink after midnight anyway, so we just left them in my vehicle overnight with the windows vented, and then the next morning, bright and early, I had to be there at 7:30 in the morning. It was an hour drive, actually over an hour, like hour 5, hour 10 minutes. It was maybe an hour 15 minutes. It was a good drive. But and I got them spayed. And they kept 2 of the cats, and they wanted to keep Mama Cat and Yeller. And they gave me Little Bit and Tiger. And so that's how I got my 2 cats. And I have not had a mouse problem since. I mean, at least not. I know there are mice around here, but I'm not getting in the house. Since I got those cats, December 2010, I've had at less than, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 mice get into the house. I think it's closer to 3, but I'm not sure. So they're doing the job. And so if you're having a mouse problem or just rodent problem, if you want barn cats, my suggestion is, if any, to find out, if their shelters if there are any, because there are shelters out there who only deal in barn cats. And then there are other shelters that, if they get feral cats in, they may spay them and, they may have a program. Also, if you're on Facebook, I'm always seeing posts. I've got a mama cat has shown up with kittens. Somebody dumped them. Anybody need cats? Or I'm looking for some cats. I need barn cats. Go onto those online garage sale groups and post your need. I mean, I did not know any of this back then, and a lot of Facebook groups have been created since then. But advertise in your area. Let people know that you're looking for some barn cats. And I'm almost positive, cats have kittens, and people are always trying to get rid of kittens. So I'm sure you'll get them. So I just wanted to share how I got my love bugs. And I'm going to I don't want to make this, it's already a 12-minute video, so I'm going to quit it now. And I'm going to do a part 2. So stay tuned for that video. But I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I hope sharing how I got my cats and how I got them spayed for free gives you some ideas on how you can solve your problem if you've got cats or you need cats or whatever your situation is. So you take care and have a wonderful day. And if you like this video, please like it. Please share. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I ask you to do that, especially if you've been watching some of my videos. Please subscribe. Subscribing, liking videos, and commenting, it all really helps us YouTubers. So you have a beautiful day.